Another difference is what I'm calling stigmas versus fresh opportunities. There is a stigma to email marketing, whereas social media is sort of currently in a honeymoon phase where it's considered much more cool and much more accepted. Email marketing garnered its own bad word that you've heard me use over and over, spam, and people still, dislike getting too many emails, even from companies that they support a lot and like. Social media posts tend to be easier to ignore and less annoying. I don't know why that is. I mean, in reality, it's not hard to delete an email and posts show up in your Facebook feed. But still, I think the public perception out there is that email, and too much email from a company, and particularly email from unwanted companies, is just something that people really can't stand, whereas social media posts tend to, sneak by. And there's also much more of an opt-in ability within social media, where in order to see a company's posts, you have to have liked them in the first place, whereas anybody might get their hands on your email address and start sending you something. Related to this, also, this is that I think this is going to maybe change over time as people get used to social media a little bit more, and as it becomes more involved in marketing. Inevitably, at some point, there's probably going to be some word that means spam on a social media level. So we'll look for that in the next few years here. Related to this stigmas versus fresh opportunities is a hip factor or not so much, as I said. Social media has a hip factor that email marketing does not have. Email marketing, in some ways, is necessary evil is maybe too harsh of a phrase, but it's a piece of the marketing mix that people have come to accept, where and tolerate almost. Whereas social media can still be cool and daring, and just as anecdotally, you really don't read articles or news pieces about exciting and interesting email marketing campaigns these days, whereas I think many of us can point to a lot of social media promotions that we've heard of that really played on some creative ideas. Another example of this, several months ago, Ben & Jerry's made some news, at least in the business world, for switching totally over to social media and stopping their email marketing altogether. And it was exactly for this reason, because social media does have this hip factor that email marketing doesn't have anymore. And now let's talk about some ways to integrate email marketing and social media. They are related technologies, and they can go together and build on each other well. So let's talk about a few ways that you can do this. First of all, there should be links to social media sites, any social media site you have. And there should be links to these in every e-blast that you send out. This is just a basic, but it is a must, just driving people to your social media sites. And it can be subtle. You just want to make sure you get it in there. And so what I've done for this point and for the next point is I've got some examples to show you. So I'll walk you through those. The first example is from Snapfish. It's a company that lets you make prints and other GIFs out of your digital photos. And here you can see down at the bottom, they've got their link to their Facebook and Twitter pages, and that will let you go ahead and share this email that they've sent out with their friends. And also on the left-hand side there, you can see also that you can follow them on Facebook and Twitter. Groupon, one of its primary means of getting the word out through Groupon is by people letting other people know about the deals that are going on through Facebook or Twitter or something like that. So of course, up here in the top right corner, they've got their links to social media as well. Staples has a option down in the middle to link to their Facebook and Twitter pages. Restaurant.com, again, has all of their social media linking options up at the top. And of course, this email was interesting because it was actually focusing on the fact that they had just gotten 100,000 likes on Facebook. So they were actually announcing a little bit of social media news and making a promotion out of it, saying, hey, look, something great happened on our social media page, and so as a result, we're sending you this email with a special offer. So that's really a great way that they combine social media and email marketing together. You'll note that some of these social media links within these e-blasts, some of them are links to the company's Facebook or Twitter pages, whereas some of them are links that allow you to share this particular email blast through Facebook or Twitter. And that's an interesting option, and I would say either one is definitely appropriate. GoDaddy, again, has a section at the bottom on ways to connect with them with their Facebook and Twitter links there as well. So that's number one, making sure that your social media links are in every e-blast. And then the flip side of that, number two, is to make sure that every e-blast that you send out is posted on your social media sites. So again, let me show you an example here. This is a screen within iContact, which is one of the most popular email marketing tools out there. This is one of the options that you have when you go to send out an e-blast, and it shows you what they call their social tools. And basically what they do here is they say, we're going to give you the option to post something over to Facebook or post something over to your Twitter account. And it lets you put in a unique message, a link if you want to, things like that. And then down in the bottom, in the part where we've sort of graded out for this particular client, but in that part it allows you to pick which Facebook page or which Twitter feed you want to send it to. And then what happens is that you end up with a post like this. Our friends over at Rush Truck Centers post all of their e-blasts to their Facebook page. And so here you can see the post that ended up on the Rush Truck Centers page with a link. And you can see, if you see where my mouse is pointing here, that the link goes to an iContact page. And so what it's going to do is when you click on that link from within Facebook, it's going to take you to an HTML version of that email newsletter. And then again, on their e-blast itself, they have these options up at the top for sharing the page, and I talked a little bit about that when I was showing you the other examples before. But let me show you specifically what these pages will do. And this is again a way of making sure that your e-blasts show up on your social media, and by letting the people who receive them actually share the e-blasts with others. So here's that same toolbar. I've just pulled it out and put it up in the top left, right there. The Facebook button automatically opens up a Facebook post for you to post the newsletter to one of your leads, or one of your friends. I mean, post it to your profile so your friends can see it. Twitter does the same thing, allows you to share the link to the newsletter with anybody who's following you on Twitter. The LinkedIn button, again, does the same thing, allows you to post an update about this link to this newsletter. And then they have that plus symbol up in the very top right. And what that does is it opens up this menu that allows you to share or bookmark this newsletter and the HTML that it's at, or the URL that it's at, on literally hundreds of other sites. So you'll see some here that you recognize. You may know Bebo. You may want to send it to Bitly to get a smaller version. But it really, this share button allows you to send it to hundreds of other sites as a way of sharing it and getting the word out about this email newsletter. And this share toolbar, those are the sorts of things that you can find out there and are able to be added to e-blasts very easily. So number three, use social media to build your email list. There are a few ways of doing this. First of all, you can have social media promotions that directly ask you when you are entering the promotion, that ask you for an email address. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is using Facebook ads that offer a benefit for joining an email list. I mentioned a few minutes ago that Facebook ads are highly targetable, and so if you are looking to grow your email marketing list, you might run a Facebook ad within your town or for people interested in your industry, that sort of thing, and offer them a benefit for signing up for this email marketing list. And that's a way of using Facebook's targeting abilities to build your email list. Another option is to promote your e-blast articles through social media. The articles that appear in your email blasts are, for some companies, the only regular new content that is being produced. New content is very important for all sorts of online endeavors, and I'll talk about SEO in just a minute. But for now, what I mean is that every time you write an article for your email blast, this should be linked to from social media, or maybe even added as its own note within something like Facebook. This will attract your social media connections to your e-blast in a way that a direct link to the e-blast itself might not, because what's going to happen is that people are going to see the title of the article itself, and maybe that will capture their attention because it's an interesting topic that they want to read more about. So just make sure you're promoting your e-blast articles through your social media sites. And again, since e-blast articles are one of the only regular sources of new content, e-blast articles can also strengthen your SEO, your search engine optimization. So what you don't want to do is hide your e-blasts somewhere offsite, or relegate them somewhere offsite, or archive them somewhere offsite. You want to make sure that all of your e-blasts are being put up on your own site, and then let your articles in those email marketing blasts help strengthen the content that you're putting on your site, and therefore your ability to be found by search engines is going to improve, because one of the things that search engines love is fresh content. And the final way to integrate here is by considering some cross-promotions between email blasts and social media. Just some examples of ways this might work. You might do a Facebook campaign where people can get clues via an email list. So they might have to be on your email list in order to get clues for something that they then have to go and post on Facebook. Or you could send out, sort of the flip side of that is you could send out an email blast that tells people to go and post on your Facebook wall or on your Twitter feed, or to use a Twitter hashtag and mark something in order to get some sort of benefit or to be entered into a contest. And the fun thing there is that when you send out an email and ask people to go and post to your wall, then anybody else who's following you on Facebook, for instance, is going to wonder what's going on your page when all sorts of strange wall posts appear, and that's going to then drive those people to want to join your email list to see what's going on. Just as an example, if you entered our Where Do You Want to Go campaign, Pivot ran a Where Do You Want to Go campaign a few months ago, where we were offering a free trip to anywhere within the U.S. And what that did was it helped we sent out that information about that contest. We posted it on our social media page, but then we also sent it to our email list, and that helped drive some traffic to our Facebook page and helped us gain some likers because we got the word out via our email list. So that was a way of integrating those two things. And people, again, don't mind going between these two channels because, as I said in the first part of this focus section, email marketing and social media really are considered, they're both within the umbrella of electronic communications, and people don't mind flowing between the two. It comes pretty naturally to people. So that's all I have on this topic today. We are just now over time. There is a question that I wanted to make sure I addressed that came in. What exactly are the no-no words in email marketing? And I'm glad you asked that, because that's something I meant to say, and I guess I didn't. Some of the no-no words include things like free, buy, discount, extra, money, 100%, or friend, like dear friend, that sort of thing. The idea here is that anytime it seems like there are overtly sales-related words within your e-blasts, those are things that are going to get you nicked by the spam filters. So that's it. That's all we have the time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Our next Straight Talk on Social Media webinar will be 2 weeks from now, May 6th at 11 o'clock. The focus will be getting the most out of LinkedIn. Dave Neustratton's Straight Talk on Telco Marketing webinar is next week on Wednesday. That's the 27th, also at 11 o'clock. You can see our address for our Facebook page there, and the slides from this presentation will be up there in just a few minutes, and the video will be there by the end of the weekend, should be. Otherwise, I think that's it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great Easter weekend, and remember to keep your media social and your talk straight.